Here's my 1984 Fisher PH405 boombox. I got brand new Christmas 1984, and it quit working, so I have been working on restoring it. The main problem was the volume slide controls weren't working anymore, so it just had a buzz out of the speakers. And then the tape player doesn't work, it needs new belts. All the bands work, it's got FM, shortwave, and AM, and then it has a line in. And I actually still have the original owner's manual. I couldn't believe I found it. Typical owner's manual, the layout and what each function does. Had to do that before. Rewind it with a pencil. Tells how to clean the heads and the pinch roller and whatnot in the cassette deck. It's hooking up various components to the jacks in the back end of it. There's the various ways to power it. Then I don't have the 12-volt jack for the car. And I have ran it off of 8D size batteries in the past. And my antenna was also broken, so I salvaged that off the parts unit. So, yeah, there's original owner's manual. It has several capacitors that the outer shell has shrunk back on, so probably going to replace those. All the ones that have the outer shell peeling back on it are these Delcon branded capacitors, so I don't know if that was just a cheap brand or what. I'm going to replace those. And these two right here, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. They have 333K on them, and they look like capacitors, but I'm working on getting a service manual for this to be sure. And then on mine, a lot of these Delcon ones are rated as 0.1 microfarads, and on this one they have 10 microfarad capacitors. So I don't know if that was a later upgrade to the chassis or what's going on, so I'm trying to find a service manual for this unit so I can be sure to put the correct parts in. Here's the back end of my unit. It's got the speaker jacks and right and left microphone. Here's the inputs, and then it's got a line output as well. And the only thing I don't have is the 12 volt DC connector, but it runs off of D batteries. Let's see, 8 D cell batteries or just regular old AC, and the 12 volt DC. And there's the voltage range it can operate on, for I guess depending on what country you're in. I'll power it up and see how it's working.
Is that my truth, or I'd really like to stay. It's a lovely
AM.
day, and whatever you've got to do, I'd be so happy to be.
You're missing a really good thing.
That lovely day to do it in bed.
Shortwave.
Para llevar ligero.
That's what it is. I'm not making it up. That's just what it is. That's good.
Or as God if you...
Call 1-855-654-CHARTER today.
FM.
Some restrictions apply. Charter.com.
About that water
facts that portray truth, beauty, and goodness. And I'd add 2 additional ways we can act as people of hope. First,
The mail.
And here's the tape player. So the motor works, but it needs some new belts. It needs 2 new belts. It should work alright. We'll go to the line input. I've got my iPod hooked up to it. So overall it's working pretty well for being almost 30 years old. So I'll continue to work on it and get the performance working better. And I'll post an update when I get everything working. I polished it up with some Novus, so it's looking a lot cleaner and a lot nicer than it did when I dug it out of the cabinet. It had been sitting in for several years. It had sawdust all over it and all kinds of dirt, so it's pretty nasty. So hope to get this thing back in good condition.